What's up everyone, SKULM here, and in today's video we're going to talk about the Season 6 Necromancer feedback. This is going to be a feedback video, and with this video I hope to improve the class and make it more fun for the future. Let's begin. In this video I will mainly cover Bone Spirit, Blood Spirit, Minion and Blood Surge Necromancer specs. I will share my experience with these builds and offer my input to make them better. Before we begin, I would like to go back to my Season 6 prediction video and play this clip to remind us about the accuracy of my prediction. The only rivals to Blood Spirit are Standard Bone Spirit and Auto Spirit. Please keep in mind that Blood Spirit may be bugged and may be fixed in the future. So, let's start with Bone Spirit, or as I call Auto Spirits, which means Automatic Rifle Spirit, Starting with the strongest Season 6 Necromancer build. Bone Spirit looks great on paper, however it suffers from essence regeneration. This has been the issue since Season 5. Season 5, we had two solutions for it. One was essence on kill gear and spamming Bone Prison with essence on kill so that the prison walls would grant you essence back. And the other one was the one-hander Bone Spirit setup, which relied on the Shattered Spirit aspect, but it required you to place your character inside the monster's hitbox, so all of the bone splinters from the Shattered Spirit aspect hit the target and restore essence that way. Both of these solutions and methods were suboptimal. In Season 6, we got the lucky hit to restore essence affix on weapon, which was buffed. It used to be 5%, it got buffed to 15% in Season 6. This obviously became the meta to fix essence issues in Season 6. However, this brought a massive inconsistency for the Necromancer's essence regeneration issue. Currently, there are two variants of Season 6 Auto Spirit or Bone Spirit Necromancers. The first variant uses Fist of Fate to maximize the lucky hit chance. However, Fist of Fate is dealing random damage. It can deal 1% up to 300% random damage. Mathematically, you are gaining, but statistics are statistics, so you could be extremely unlucky. It's inconsistent. That's what I'm trying to get at. If you're super lucky, you can use the second variant. The second variant requires you to have double GA, double greater affix on Starless and double greater affix on Air of Perdition. Both of these greater affixes should be on lucky hit and core skills minimum. Once you have these, you can drop Fist of Fate and use a legendary glove, and you can actually masterwork it to +7 core skills. It can have additional lucky hit chance and intelligence or max life. Alright? That deals more damage compared to the Fist of Fate version. But as you can see, both methods are not foolproof, and this surely feels bad because you rely on specific pieces, which is good and bad at the same time. But right now, the second variant is just too specific. And like any type of build that is requiring you to have double GA, like on a mythic unique, I think it's unrealistic and it should never be encouraged by Blizzard, to be fair. So, since we identified the problem, here is my suggested solution. I think we need to reduce the amount of uniques required for Bone Spirit and bring stronger legendary aspects. Right now, let me count you how many uniques the Auto Spirit, Bone Spirit Necromancer uses. Mythic Hell, either Harlequin Crest Shaco or Air of Perdition. Chest slot, Shroud, of course, because it's overpowered, Gloves, Fist of Fate, Legs, Blood Moon Breeches, Boots, Path of Trag'Ul, Amulet, Banished Lord's Talisman. Like, this is incredibly bad. Like, this is too much unique items required to make a build work. So, and of course, the Ring of Starless Skies. So that's 7. So I think certain uniques need to be either nerfed, or there needs to be legendary aspects that should flat out replace these unique items. because the legendary aspects should be more powerful than them. I don't know, something needs to be done because it's just too much and there are no slots for us to play around with the aspects because the uniques take care of, like, they occupy the slots all of the time. So, reduce the amount of uniques required for Bone Spirit and bring stronger legendary aspects. One prime example would be merging Shattered Spirit aspect with Swelling Curse aspect. Okay? Shattered Spirit and Swelling Curse aspect, we can merge these two and buff it so that it solves both DPS and essence issue, especially in single target scenarios. If you're not familiar with the Auto Spirit, Bone Spirit variant, even in bosses, we want bosses that spawn adds, because once we cast the Bone Spirit, it makes an explosion around, and the lucky hit chance applies to the adds as well. The game calculates the lucky hit separately if the boss has adds. In single target, obviously, mathematically speaking, we have less chance to proc this effect. On multiple target AoE scenarios, it has a higher chance to proc, obviously, so we prefer bosses with adds so that we can restore our essence back easier, which is another source of inconsistency. The build is S tier, but definitely it can be improved. Another problem for the Bone Spirit, Auto Spirit, is the durability of our Bone Prison. We rely too much on Path of Tragul boots because the Bone Splinters cast by our Bone Prison increases our max essence, which helps trigger Banished Lord Talisman more often. Path of Tragul makes your Bone Spirit, makes your Bone Prison cast Bone Splinters. Each of these splinters, when hit, they will increase your maximum essence. When you have increased maximum essence, it's easier for you to spend all of your essence with Bone Spirit and trigger Banished Lord Talisman. The problem is, our Bone Prison is dying too fast, okay, too quickly. Because right now, Season 6 Bone Spirit Necromancer is using too many offensive gear with minimal defensive investment. The lack of damage reduction is obvious and this reflects to our Bone Prison. Our Bone Prison usually disappears without even casting 2 projectiles because the monster affixes or AoE abilities easily destroy it. I think this can be fixed by removing the HP from Bone Prison barriers or just make them fix with static duration instead. Or just make them have like 99% damage reduction, like the Skeletal Defender upgrade. You know, the Bone Prison needs to be more durable, survivable, so that it can actually do the job that it's supposed to be doing. So, let us switch to Blood Surge. Amazing build. Blood Surge, I think, is an amazing Necromancer build, which is massively carried by one item. Prior's Embrace Gloves. The GA Drain affix on these gloves, as well as the auto corpse consumption, brings amazing DPS and quality of life. This is obvious. Flesh Eater board is extremely outdated. In today's fast-paced Diablo 4 playstyle, nobody has time to cast 5 corpse explosions and wait to consume corpses. Prior's Embrace make Blood Surge automatically consume corpses while you just spam the ability. This helps trigger that awesome 40x multiplicative damage increase from the Flesh Eater legendary node. And also it makes the build super compatible with the Flesh Eater board. This is a rare quality now because the Flesh Eater board is extremely outdated, okay? You have to just individually cast corpse explosion or consume 5 corpses. The gloves just say however corpses there are on the ground, one blood surge and I consume them all, so you just proc 5 and you just get the buff. So Blood Surge just needs single target buff to push higher pits because it suffers in boss fights. I think Blizzard should seriously consider focusing on Blood Surge Necromancer because Blood Surge is actually loved by the Necromancer community and it is amazing build to play. So my suggestion would be bringing an alternative to Great Feast aspect on Blood Surge to fix essence issues. Ratma's chosen attack speed category can be changed, or the attack speed of the aspect can be buffed as well. Blood Surge is already a great build and it has great potential to become a dominant meta Necromancer spec. We want more single target damage for Blood Surge. We want it to kill bosses easier so that it can push higher pit tiers. I think Blood Surge is a universally loved Necromancer spec and it wants buffs, okay? So, do not confuse the name. we're gonna switch to Blood Spirit now, okay? So, first things first, as I said before, I call this build Blood Spirit due to Season 0 version. It's just an old habit. This build is also known as Spirit Wave. There are some wonderful people who have modernized this build, and they called it Spirit Wave. I call it Blood Spirit because I play since Season 0, but it is what it is. You know, just call it whatever you like. Blood Spirit, Spirit Wave, it is what it is. They are essentially the same thing, but I am going to be honest about it. Blood Spirit kind of flopped and left a bad impression on many people. This build has a lot of expectation. There were some high expectations about this build, but the build is disappointing because it cannot push high pit tiers. Unlike Auto Spirit. Auto Spirit just has more DPS output. The damage output of Auto Spirit is better compared to Blood Spirit. So during my prediction video, I ranked this build S tier, and I still rank it S tier, by the way. It can do Infernal Hordes, it can do anything in the game with ease. It can push pits comfortably up to 105, 110, but then it hits a plateau and just, you know, the damage just falls off. It is still S tier though, do not get me wrong, okay? It's just not the best Necromancer build, in my honest opinion, because it cannot do the same DPS output as the Auto Spirit. So what's the problem? One prime reason is the incompatibility of the build with Paragon boards. So if you know Blood Spirit works mysteriously with the Blood Artisan's Cuirass unique armor. If you pay attention, the Bloodbath overpower nodes do not affect Blood Spirit. So in other words, the Bone Spirits spawned when you collect Blood Orbs, the Bone Spirits spawned from your Blood Artisan Cuirass do not overpower. So the entire Bloodbath board is incompatible with this build. Flesh Eater, let's look at Flesh Eater as an alternative. It has the legendary node. Flesh Eater has corpse consumption condition on the legendary node. This is really bad because I want to spam Bloodlands with Gore Quills and to collect the Blood Orbs and everything. So if I stop spamming Bloodlands, then I cannot spawn Bone Spirits because I have to consume corpses so that I get 40% multiplicative damage increase for 4-5 seconds. Like, what is this? This is an unnatural, extremely bad DPS rotation. Like, it's just bad. Why would I play Blood Spirit when I could actually play Blood Surge instead? Because I have Krior's Embrace. I can just automatically consume the corpses when I spam Blood Surge. But when I play Blood Spirit, I have to individually cast Corpse Explosion or something to trigger Flesh Eater? No, I mean, that's so bad. So, that is bad. Also, the Blood Spirit HP scaling and the damage calculation of the Bone Spirit is bugged. I have discussed this with King Pig. We have mathematical proof that it is bugged. I have talked about this and I have also shown numbers to back up this claim. It's on my Discord. So I think Blizzard should first fix the bug, then buff this build to high heavens so it becomes an extremely fun and strong Necro build. So I think the bug needs to be fixed first. The HP bug, okay? The Blood Spirit, Bone Spirits, spawned from Blood Artisan's Cuirass are doing way more damage than they're supposed to be doing, okay? The damage is bugged. So what I'm saying is Blizzard should fix the bug first, then buff this build and make it super strong. So my suggestions are, of course, fix the HP scaling and Blood Artisan damage calculation bug for the Bone Spirit, then buff the build and Bone Spirit damage, allow it to overpower and benefit from Bloodbath board, or rework your Flesh Eater legendary node. Build has great potential, new uniques or legendary aspects can also be introduced to make it stronger. Okay, I saved the best for the last. Let's talk about the Minion Necromancer. The ultimate Necromancer is the Minion Necromancer. However, we suffer from lack of control. The revival of Mandown is greatly appreciated, but we do not have any realistic control over our skeletons. And let's face it, the damage reduction aura mobs in the pits require precision sniping. The skeletons simply wander off or hit something else, which cause us to lose a lot of time. Spamming corpse tendrils and then praying that your Mandaln explosions somehow kill the damage reduction or a monster is definitely not fun at all. This is especially visible in higher pits because these monsters are more tanky, so they have more HP, and of course you need to be more lucky so that your skeletons actually hit the guy, damage reduction monster. So it makes the build extremely annoying to play. The second problem is the lack of a core spender for Minion Necromancer. So if you pay attention, Minion Necromancers usually use Blight, which is the worst projectile that I have ever seen in a video game. It's absolutely disgusting. I hate Blight. It's actually whatever. I don't want to be demonetized. Like, you can actually miss a target with Blight because somehow it goes past your target and just bloops somewhere else. It's disgustingly bad, and I honestly think Blight should be reworked or made exclusively for Ebon Piercer builds. I hate Blight. I hate Blight. It's the worst projectile ever. Anyway, enough rambling. Blight provides 20x multiplicative damage increase to you and your minion. The target is standing inside Blight. Ugh. First, I think Blight should be nerfed. That upgrade should straight out be given to something else so that we never have to play Blight unless we have Ebon Piercer. Okay? My first suggestion to improve Minion Necromancer would be to bring a hotkey option for controlling our pets, the skeletons, or rework certain core skills like Sever, so our minions prioritize the last target that has been hit by Sever. And why Sever? Well, because Sever is awesome, and the fact that you summon another skeleton to do the attack synergizes with the Minion Necro fantasy. I think Sever is the best Minion Necro spander that could ever exist. In addition, for players playing with a mouse, you can adjust the distance of your Sever. For controller, you can also lock to a target. We need to buff Supernatural Sever upgrade, so it increases the minion damage instead. Right now, Supernatural Sever improves the damage of your Sever. It makes your Sever deals more damage based on the number of minions. Let us rework that, change that. However, if we rework and buff Supernatural Sever to improve minion damage instead, this will help our Mandaln explosions. Then we can drop that Blight and replace it with Sever as a Minion Necrospander instead. This would not only allow us more control over the build, but also bring a much needed core spander as well. It's the perfect solution. I'm telling you, it is the perfect solution. Anyway, conclusion. There is either someone from Blizzard or a Diablo partner watching my videos and conveying information to make better changes. This has been going on for some time, and I just want to say thank you to that person. Whoever you are, thank you. Whoever you are, thank you for taking your time and listen to my feedback. Every time I see certain official changes that I had specifically covered or requested, I feel good. Again, thank you very much to that person, and thank you for watching this video. Let me know what you think down in the comments or share your own suggestions. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.